Good afternoon, and we are back. I am Shawnee, and welcome to the Shawnee View, designed for happy life, engineered to last. The purpose of my podcast is to exemplify the dreams and goals and how to achieve them through self-motivation and inspiration from others. There's a saying, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime. Well, hello, Miss Kyndra.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Listen, I haven't pimp slapped nobody. I wasn't on the corner. My legs have been closed all day except when I went to the bathroom.
Okay.
It's a good day. It's a good day.
It
How are
sounds like
you?
a good day. It sounds like a very eventful day.
Yes, it is.
Already. I'm good, though. So thank you for coming out to the Shawnee View.
Thank you. Listen, I heard about this, and because
Yeah.
Monique was on it at one point, and then you had Bill Gates, and I said, how do I get on? LL Cool J is gonna be next, right?
Oh, LL Cool J. He had a listening party, and talk about it later.
Okay,
But-
we'll talk about it. Okay.
But yeah, it's always a pleasure to have a guest on the Shawnee View.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did you hear about it other than those previous guests?
So I saw you posting it on Facebook with previous comedians who I've hit the stage with, and I
Okay.
said, why have I not been on this show? Like, the HNIC is here. Why haven't I not been invited yet? So I said, baby, I'm going to be sliding your DM. Like, hey,
Yeah.
because I'm
she definitely slid in my
yes,
DM.
I
Because
slid. I slid.
you are actually my first female.
on.
For
Clock
this.
Clock it.
But yeah, that's cool. It's also Men's Mental Health
It is.
Awareness Month.
Yes.
You think that's getting as much coverage right now as it should?
No, I don't think it is. And I know it's also, the Elemental Communities Month as well. No offense to y'all.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, they have it during the hottest time of the year, letting them know that's how it's gonna feel when they burn in hell, right?
Oh, it's
No
hot, it's
shade,
hot,
no
girl,
shade.
hot
I
boy
love you all
summer.
because I used to be a part of y'all, and then I looked in the women's restroom. I'm like, why was I licking cat? It's dirty in here. My gosh, I was really a carpet muncher.
Really?
I really was. I was
So
gay at one point.
First time out. I'm going to back it up a
Yeah.
little bit. First, how did you become, and then how did you
Get out.
unbecome?
Watching porn, and people don't understand porn is really a
that'll
gateway.
do
So
it.
I watched my first flick off my father's computer, the pop-up screen. I don't know, and I just saw a woman with these gigantic boobs. I'm like, and she was doing a cartwheel on the beach, a white woman, and I said, oh my gosh, I want boobs big like that too. Like I used to be in elementary, used to stuff, my shirt. I still got a picture day where
Is it because you saw the porn, or
I possibly think it was a culmination, probably. And then
Could
you
be.
remember Jet Beauty of the Week, and and I was wanting to do that so bad, but I miss my
the
cue.
visuals?
Yeah, I miss my cue.
You could create your own Jet magazine.
Yeah,
or
but my
something
sex
else.
isn't set. That's why I wear clothes, right? Like it doesn't. I've tried being an Instagram model.
It's optional. It's ways. I ain't gonna push it and promote, but I'm just saying this.
But continuing on, I remember the first time I had a dream. I kissed a girl and I liked it. I was like 13, and I was like, maybe that means I'm gay, right? Because
Yeah.
Katy Perry had the song as well. But
Gotta do it.
But
that
what
music.
happened? Yeah, that's why the Bible talks about like guarding your ear gates and your eye gates because you don't realize it's spiritual.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual realm, a portal. And so for me, I had to once I got deeper within Christ, He started convicting me on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and
make you think.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was like, I gotta like God, I pray this out of me.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And plus, well, this is just my opinion. Contrary to popular belief, men are better at that than women. Just want to say that. So
Wait, men are better at what? than
giving
women?
cunnilingus than women. Yes, I don't know like where I can go with this. I'm trying to keep it G-rated. I want you on the air still.
Well, hey, this your episode. You feel free to say what's on your heart.
I don't want you getting fined. You're a millionaire. That's how we stay
I
like
better
that.
not get
Y'all,
fined
she
for this.
pulled up in a Rolls Royce. Like you guys don't
The G-Wagon,
understand.
but
Oh,
G-Wagon,
yeah, it was.
G-Wagon,
It was a pink
G-Wagon,
one, right?
G-Wagon, G-Wagon. Yep, pink. That's funny. So you feel like you prayed it out yourself, or did you have like what do you call it, intercessory prayer?
A little bit of both.
Prayer work.
A little bit of both. My mother told me she would get on her knees, like in her prayer closet, like, and it wasn't just that. It was a lot of different sins. Like, thank God for my mom. Like, you know, your parents really do. You know, you thank God for the people who really are in your life to make sure that you grow and get deeper within Him.
Right.
You know, because God is something that, and you know this because you go to church and you make sure to really keep Him first in your life. Yeah. God is something that you know you just learn not to play with. You know,
definitely.
And I think it's either in 1st or 2nd Corinthians. It said, you know, when I was a child, I acted like a child, but when I became an adult, I put those childish things away.
Right.
You know, and for me, I was, and I know when Matthew says that you can't serve two masters. Yeah, and I was trying to really juggle. Like, I wanted to be like everybody else. That spirit of comparison. So I said, oh, I want a girlfriend because I was so tired of guys, right? And then I'm like, women are annoying. How do men have 10 of y'all? Y'all are so annoying. I remember one girl in particular, girl who sucked at it anyway. She wanted to cuddle.
Bad at it.
Child, she had a tongue ring. What you get a tongue ring for? You're not good at it. So she wanted to cuddle. And I'm like, go cuddle in the corner. You don't deserve. You deserve tap water. That's what you get. Get off of me. Get off of me.
So you experienced that and you came on back.
She was actually the same woman. Yeah, because my mother had beat the porn out of me when I was 12. And she was the same woman who reintroduced it back into my life. And you know, it says also,
How?
Because I was their girlfriend. Child, I need to write a book. My life
Don't
is
you
wild.
have a book?
I do.
What is that about?
No, that's a fictitious story. So Diamond in the Rough is on Amazon. By Kyndra Crump, and so it is about a 25-year-old virgin girl, Diamond, from the MIA, and she moved to Atlanta to get away from her crazy ex-boyfriend. This is not a true story. Okay. So while living out here, she falls in love with a guy named Nick out in Chicago. Okay. And you know everything
from Miami to Chicago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So you know he's out here just falling in love, and you know. Everything's going great until it doesn't. So it's a lot of romance, drama, suspense, and then, you know, only one person makes it out alive in the end, and she has a twin sister. So it's like, you know,
it's a lot.
Yeah, the twin sister is the thought. Diamond is the good girl. The twin sister's name is Keisha. Diamond is Keisha
like and Diamond.
Yeah, like So it's crazy. So and I'm working on the second book. So
I'm gonna have to read that.
Yes, ma'am. Like, listen, listen. Once I make it a lot bigger than where I am, people are gonna be like, oh, you know, yes, I know her.
You remember her?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, tell me a little bit about the Kyndra Crump show.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So the Kyndra Crump show, what can I say? So the Kyndra Crump show is basically a show that represents my life. Initially, I remember people were telling me in high school, like leaving high school, they're like, Kyndra, you are freaking hilarious. You need a camera to follow you everywhere. Like, call it the Kyndra Crump show. Yeah. And but it also was like what is that word? Self-absorbed. I don't know but basically I would always want stuff to be about me. Okay. You know, which isn't good because that's how you run people off. If you're not really asking them how they're doing, if you always just take over. Yeah, so you gotta be mindful. Yeah, you had to be mindful. The Kyndra Crump show, like, and that's my Instagram name as well, but it was just more so it's just more so about my life, different things that are going on. Of course, I learned not to share everything, right? Because, you know,
don't overshare.
Yeah, because, you know, people block blessings. They'll block, and life and death is in the power of the tongue.
It is.
So because it is in the power of the tongue, you got to be mindful of what you say because people are putting stuff out there like they're praying PREY on you instead of PRAY. Yeah. But yeah, it's just about my life. Just, you know, random stuff, random videos I make. One time I filmed myself getting licked on my face by a giraffe. You know, it was great.
Where were you?
I was in Alamo, Tennessee, and he was by himself. I was at the safari park. Listen, the drive-in safari where you feed the animals. Yeah. Man, they like were about to jump my car. I didn't have no more food for them. I was like, why are y'all about to attack?
Feed them?
Whatever the food that they had.
They just get you some
and I literally just dropped the bucket and tried to drive off, but it had all this gravel. Like you would literally tear your wheels up. They want you to go 5 miles an hour for a reason, but Rams, I got a chance to feel a Ram's horn, and it felt, you know, spiky and everything like that. It was cool.
Wow,
it was actually cool. But yeah, but goats and you know the llamas, they were just. Yeah, but yeah, the giraffe was out there by himself. He's by himself. I'm like, bro, that's not fair. Give him a girlfriend. Like he's lonely.
Oh.
Yeah, he licked my
thought he was
face.
just sitting there.
They eat carrots.
That's why he licked your face. But, so usually I have an icebreaker question, but
Yes,
we
sir.
don't really need that because you broke the ice already.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm still asking, what is a current song if you listen to music that you have on heavy rotation, and does it say anything about your current headspace?
You know what? Good question. Now I just really listen to gospel,
Yeah.
old school.
Like what artists?
Israel Houghton. I think that's Here I Am to Worship.
Yeah.
That song brings
That
me to
one
tears.
will always get
That
you.
song brings me to tears. I'm like, I never
Yeah.
know how much it cost me. Oh my God, you worried about that cross. I just started crying. I started crying.
Yeah.
I would say old school, like the OJs.
Okay.
I like Marvin Gaye.
Okay.
I like Marvin Gaye. Yeah,
Okay.
but as far as what a current song that's on, anything that's gospel, I can't. As far as does it describe? Yeah, I was told I'm the David of my family.
Okay.
You know, I'm still, I guess, figuring that out. You
Okay.
know, I had literally, my mother was telling me that I was pretty much kissing death's door. She just saw death all over me during that time when I was really in a
Wow.
place of darkness and
Right.
everything. But yeah, I would say the heavy is Here I Am to Worship, Israel Houghton.
Okay.
You know, I like
Okay.
Hezekiah Walker. He's really
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
he
say other
is.
people other than like, Kirk Franklin, some Mary Marys, like those
Right.
other artists and
So
stuff like that.
I love Marvin Sapp, and now he
Yes. I was going to say Marvin
he
too.
became a meme and
Yes.
But I love Marvin Sapp. I'll put that on rotation any day. So you're an HBCU graduate.
Yes, ma'am. Clark, Atlanta. You doing, girl? Let me find out you looked on my Wikipedia page and found out the IMDb too.
I do a little bit of research.
Yes. That's why you're the best.
Thank you.
But yes, Clark, Atlanta.
Okay. What did you major in? Like,
So communications, mass communications. I went there not realizing that in the radio industry, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
okay.
You can save a lot of money following that technique. Unless you're
Really?
trying to be like a doctor, you're trying to
Right.
be a pharmacist. You need to go to college for that. But I didn't like the dream right now. When you mentioned who was I just thought about it, the Kyndra Crumb show, having my own radio show, nationally syndicated, like Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah,
so that
I
was
could see that for you.
yeah. People have said like I see television all over you, like the
Yeah.
way that you are, radio all over you with your
Okay.
voice and everything else like that.
Yeah.
And so, I was trying to go to school for that, thinking like I'll just make it. But no, you have to once college ends, you should have been doing that like internships. I couldn't do it
Ooh.
because I was working at Walmart, and Walmart had crazy hours, and I thought my father was previously in the industry.
Okay.
He was part of did Warner Brothers and Sony, if you remember them.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was the vice president of Sony. So he was the original HNIC,
Oh,
right?
wow,
So
okay.
think of all the big artists from back in the day, like Michael Jackson, Tupac, Quincy Jones. Rest in
Right.
peace to him. Rest in peace to all three of those.
Right.
James Ingram. They were at the house.
Wow.
They
So
were
you
at
was just,
before
like,
I was
around
born.
them.
Before I was born, I said, "What type of crap is this?"
Oh, before you.
Yeah,
was
before I was born. He Karen, the woman who sung Superwoman. I'm not your Superwoman, Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's at the house. James Ingram taught my sister how to play the piano. All that type of stuff.
Wow.
Like I know the only person I met, and I was raving about it when I was like a kid. Jaheim.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only person. I was like, went to school. Jaheim sung to me on the phone. He sung to me on the phone.
Oh, Jaheim.
Yes, he actually tunes into this episode as well, like podcast as well. He tunes.
Really?
Yeah, he's a supporter.
That's
I got off
good.
the phone with him last week.
Definitely make sure he sees this. Jaheim, you watching this? We still love your music. Okay. Let me see. We got this show is definitely different from all of my other episodes. Had some fun questions or fun facts about you. You wrote Will Smith's last album.
I did.
Okay, and then You single-handedly beat up the gorilla
I did.
from the 1 versus 100 men.
Come on, man. Listen, I
You
was on
just out here
some
doing
Mad Dog.
things.
I was on that Mad Dog. Okay, and I was on some Alizé and Cristal, baby. That was it. That was
Wow.
it. And you know, I had some of that Girl Scout cookies off.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
baby.
that's
that
a lot of mixture.
Listen, I was Mortal Kombat batting. Okay, who's that? Liu Kang with the legs, baby. I was doing it.
You know what
His name was
I think about?
Rashid. His name was Rashid. That's the
Gorilla's
yeah,
man?
I was like, what's up? He
Oh
gave
my
me dap
God.
and everything,
This
man.
is Kyndra, y'all. This is
I was Dr.
this
Doolittle
is why
with
she
them.
has her show. Dr. Doolittle.
Man, they listen.
Did he really kill the animals?
No. I mean, I beat him up. I mean,
Oh,
it was
you
a
just
fair
beat him
fight.
up.
Like
Oh,
once I saw
that's
him get on the grass, I said, "Come on, get back up."
Domestic violence.
No, it wasn't. No, like Rashid was like a transgender ape, so it was a woman. It was no domestic violence.
Oh, and it
I
was
don't,
a
I don't,
female.
I don't whoop on men no more, baby. I had to, like I said, baby. That's why I'm not married
Change your
now.
ways.
Because I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you, I used to what, baby. I was Lynn Whitfield from a thin line. I still am. I'm trying not to be crazy. I talked about this last night.
Okay.
Yeah, I try not to be. Because I'm like,
You
what do you mean? I'm
attempted.
like, what do you mean we not together? Yeah, I met your mama.
Yeah. Yeah. And you cannot be somebody's mom and be in a relationship with them.
Come on.
You got to be either or.
Come on.
There ain't no.
Listen, it's official. It's official, but yes, I did beat up the girl. What other fun facts
Okay.
about me? Yes.
These, I would like people to guess if these are true or not. The FBI showed up to your house.
They actually
No,
did.
why would the FBI show up to your house? What?
Because I wrote a terrorist.
What did you? Huh?
So I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Look, no flag. Look, y'all, this is the Shawnee View. Y'all know how my show usually goes. Don't get my show flag.
No, I'm not going to.
Don't get
they're
me
not,
put
they're,
on
they're,
a list.
They're not. I mean, listen, man. They y'all watching me for life, but y'all, why didn't you watch the person who broke into my car? What type of help are y'all?
What did you?
So I'm gonna tell you what happened. So this is years ago. It was where El Chapo is, that prison where El Chapo is. So I was gonna write to him, but I'm like, my Spanish, soy la única mi familia que habla español. So I'm the only. I just
You
said it.
wrote it in Spanish.
No, I was going to, but my Spanish at that time wasn't as great. Now I just said I'm the only one in my family who speaks Spanish,
Okay.
so I don't have anybody to really communicate with, right? So that's why I didn't write him. The guy who I wrote.
sorry.
No, you're okay. Laugh through it. It's okay. The guy who I wrote. The reason I was writing him, it was not only him. It was him, Suge Knight, Larry Hoover, the Menendez brothers. Wayne Williams, that's Atlanta. Like, hey, listen, Wayne Williams.
Time out. Did you have this list written
Yeah, I did.
out?
Anybody. Didn't matter who. Jeff Ford.
Did you send the letter out to?
Yes. I actually. Look,
Was it copy and paste or did you make it? Like,
I made it. So
you
I'm gonna
personally.
tell you. No, I made it. So this is what I did. I wrote the. See, here's the thing. I wrote the terrorist guy.
Hold on. I'm gonna start doing better background checks on my guest after this. Let me get a pass for this one.
No, so what? So Out of Mind's the Devil's Playground, as y'all know, but it wasn't. It was never nothing malicious. Like God knew where my heart was. So, and I'm gonna explain why He knew where my heart was.
Okay.
Because they're in lockdown 23 hours out the day. They ain't doing nothing. That's why I wrote him, because I'm like, I want to get an interview with you. That's the reason why. So I gave him my Instagram. I gave him my phone number, so he knew I wasn't catfish. My name.
Oh my God.
I wrote him. I said, hey, how you doing? Whatever his name is. Hey, how are you doing? My name is Kyndra Crump. I'm from Atlanta. Just told him, I said, I have a podcast. I would love to get you on just so I can know your life story, because he was somebody before he got jammed up. Like,
Okay. Yeah, they do have lives before.
so,
prison.
but that's why they showed up. They showed up a month later, because they were like, we just want to make sure you ain't down for them. I'm like, no. And guess what? I knew I made it when I made the FBI laugh. I had them in there cackling.
What did you say to them?
I don't remember. I was just being me. And they just started cackling. And they said, bro, you are hilarious.
Oh my! Well, you know what? I'm glad that they did stop you at that point.
They told me, listen, please do not give your personal information. I know you're a woman,
These are
woman to
convicted.
woman. They said, I'm letting you know, you're not going to perform comedy there. I told them I want to perform comedy.
Ooh.
They said they're not going to respond back. How'd you get his information? I said, guys, it's on the internet. Why'd y'all not take it down? They're like, yeah. Oh, what? So that's why.
You know, I'm glad that your mom is in your life.
My mother was so angry. She couldn't, like, she was giving me the Ray Charles the entire time. She didn't even look at me. You're a mom. Why would y'all do that?
You know how upset I would be with my kids if the FBI showed up to my house because they had a list. Like, they had a strategic plan to send letters out. No, not just to send them, but they sent them out. Yeah, I would probably, I don't know how I would look at them. I would be happy because they had a strategy, but then it's like, I would want them to redirect that energy into something else.
Yeah.
So.
But no, that's why I wanted to just do an interview. I said, listen, because and I thought to myself, I can't get Diddy right now. This is before he got jammed up. Okay. I couldn't get Diddy. I couldn't get R. Kelly. Will Smith.
So you got the caged birds.
Because listen, they're not doing nothing
anywhere. Okay.
I mean, come on now.
It makes sense.
Listen, if Griselda Blanco was alive, man, I pull up to her house. She got deported back in 2012. I wish I was in that airport. I could have been talking to her.
You could have.
Man, listen, you know what, man? She's one of my sheroes. Her and Anna Nicole Smith, man.
You know what? That saying where they be like, "You got spunk, kid."
And Lil' Kim.
Got spunk.
And Lil' Kim. That's my other shero.
What other? See, that's what led you down that road that your mom pulled you back from.
Man.
Here's one. I don't even know if I want to ask this one, but you sent it. You said you were in remedial classes throughout elementary.
I was.
So I have a caveat for that.
Okay.
I've been hearing that from a lot of comedians.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I won't say a lot. It's specifically two. Monique, she says she was retarded. And then Mike Epps, he said he was in special ed. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and then you said that you were in remedial classes throughout. Why?
Because you know what, man. I think this is the problem where my mother, again, evangelist. We're just going to pray it away. Mom, God's inbox is full. We have resources here. Literally every year, like, I was almost on the short bus, like, and I had the helmet, and they kept dusting my seat off, but I never made it on there. I almost, man. Actually, would be in like, with the autistic children, like, once I was in high school, I would just go to their class talking to the adults, man, and they got those, that's super straight. They got hope straight.
So is that what has been this whole time? Hasn't been that you're autistic? Like,
you know what? Somebody told me, like, they prophesied, said, Kyndra, like, you have some type of autism. Like, it's been there. And I'm like, it is? I'm like, I rebuke that. But then as I think about it, bro, I be getting off task.
So first
the ADHD.
of all, there's nothing wrong with autism.
No, it's nothing wrong.
Because I feel that everybody is on the spectrum at some point. Yeah. Somebody is on the spectrum. Like, you may not be on the... I don't know. What are they? I don't even know.
The high end, low end.
Yeah. You're somewhere on there though. So.
I'm sure. The ADHD,
Yeah. It's all together.
My mother was like, she literally tells me to say, put you on Ritalin or something like that. Like,
do they still give Ritalin?
I don't know.
Or is that like played out? I'm gonna Google it after this show. What other question did you send? You said that. You've had the same phone number since 2011?
Yes, ma'am.
You still have it?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't like to change my. I like to stay stable in that. The only issue is that when I give my number, let's just give out my number to somebody, and they still got it after a year or two. Why do you still have my phone number? Why are you? Hey, I'm like, who is this? Right. This Todd. Todd, who? Todd, man, you forgot about me already. I have not heard from you in 5 years. Don't you have a baby on the way? Leave me alone. Right. You know what, man? That was actually a true story.
While him and his baby mama was having an argument.
You know what? I'm going to tell you a real quick story. I'm going to tell you real quick. This is a true story. 3 minutes or less.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
We'll make it about a minute.
A minute. I just remember this guy. I have not heard from him in years. Years. He hits me. Well, actually, somehow my number got connected with the woman who, his girlfriend. She sends me a message about, or it was a group chat message about a baby shower. So I went to go like look who this person up. I said, how did I get in this group chat for a baby shower. And I have not heard from you in years. Why do you still have my phone number? Why do you still have my phone number?
So you were in the group chat with him and
I don't know
the
how I
baby
got
mama?
somehow I got just my number. This was like 3 years ago. My number
Probably
just got
saved your number under the
But
somebody
you
else's
invited me
name.
to your baby shower? Like, for what?
They probably had you saved under somebody else's name. That's what that sounds like.
You know what? You know that's how some men are.
That makes sense to me,
But-
like with their crazy thinking.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Wow.
But yeah,
Did
I've
you
had
go?
the same phone. No, I did not.
Okay, because I gotta ask you. I don't know.
No. But I was like, what you still like, it was literally 7 other people. And I'm like, why would I get it? And I said, his girl? Whatever.
Yeah, that's real.
Whatever, you know.
I have no words.
But yes, I've had the same phone number. I don't like to
Okay.
change.
Okay.
I changed my underwear, but you know.
That's good.
That is good. Some people don't.
You want to have good hygiene out here in these
I'll
streets.
be smelling people's butt through their jeans. I'm like, go to the hospital.
Through jeans?
Man, smell like a kangaroo's pouch.
Ooh, that's so nasty. You gonna make me gag. You love traveling.
Yes, ma'am. Just got back.
Where's the last place? Like, where are you coming back from?
I just did 2 weeks road trip. I was in Greenville, North Carolina. My first time in Greenville.
Okay.
I've been in North Carolina. My aunt lives in Charlotte.
Okay.
But I was in random cities. Like I went to Fayetteville. I was posted up at J. Cole's house, and then I jumped the gate and I went to his home too. I slept in his bed.
No,
yeah.
you would have been arrested.
No, I mean I showed them my
you
breast.
still on the
I showed
FBI
them,
list.
I showed them my breast and they let me go. Sex sells. It's not mine, but that time it did. So I went to Fayetteville. I went to Greensboro. I was just heading from one random city to the next. I went to 10 or 12 cities within the 5 random cities in North Carolina.
Okay.
From Greenville, I drove to Chicago. Now, that was the longest drive I've ever had in my life so far.
Driving to Chicago from anywhere is long to me.
So that was where and then from Chicago to here, it was a shorter drive, right? But man, it was.
You drove by yourself?
I drove by myself. Well, I had the Holy Trinity.
Solo trip.
No, I had the Holy Trinity.
Of course, you were covered.
Yes,
so.
of course.
Yeah.
There was that back there playing spades. I had the van.
Or were you listening to gospel music?
I was listening to that and the 85 South Show,
Yeah.
and then I was just talking to God, and that was about it.
Okay.
That was about
Have you
it.
ever been to one of the 85 South shows?
One time.
Have you? I've never
It was
been.
December. I remember like it was yesterday because I was sick the next day. December 2021.
Oh, in the kind of the beginning.
Yeah,
kinda?
so it was one of their live recordings and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had some pretty good seats and stuff like that. So
That's cool.
Yeah, but I have.
So when you travel, do you have like a specific objective? Like you want to go to, like, do you plan it out? You plan stuff out.
Oh, baby, I'm a planner. I plan a year ahead. I'll plan 10 years ahead. Like, this is what I'm going to name my child. This whatever, right? This is what I'm going to cook my husband. I mean, like, when I get married.
You definitely do that part. Write down what you're going to cook, because cooking every single day, you start running out of ideas, and I don't really want to repeat meals, but I'm going to have to.
It gets expensive, too, right?
Yeah.
It can, but no, I do. I'll like when I was in Chicago, I went to King Von's grave.
Yes, I was going to ask you a question about that. As far as Christianity versus spirituality, that's kind of a ritual to sit food on. With different religions and different beliefs.
You know what?
I don't understand it. I don't.
It's you know what? This is listen. Listen, there's a lot that I'm very opinionated, and it's a reason probably why I don't have a lot of friends. Because, baby, like, my mouth has ran people off. And it's kept some men in my life. Anyway, I'm like, why are you still here? Like, leave me alone. You're not trying to put a ring on it? Goodbye.
So you went to that site, you saw the honey buns. What's another site you went to where you seen something crazy?
That was, I went to Al Capone's. The cemetery where he's at.
Okay, how was that?
I felt like the cemeteries. Listen, where King Von's buried, that's where people ain't got no money because there's actually no tombstone. There's just like little, the plates. Go to Al Capone. It looks like mansions. I actually saw a cross that was bigger than the one that Christ had. When Yeshua was walking up there, and when he was walking, that I was like, that thing was touching the sky. It was touching the sun. And I was like, but it's literally mansions.
Yeah.
Capone, his gravesite tombstone wasn't, as big as everyone else. I actually knocked on the door and somebody opened the door. I said, "What? I thought you was there." He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Well, I saw a pretty woman, so come on in, man." I went downstairs. It was like it had a whole fireplace, man.
Wow.
It was nice in there.
So when you went to both of these sites, did you have any feeling with it? Like, was there any like?
Ooh, that's a good question. Because when I went during the day, of course, right?
Yeah,
I went. No, I mean, yeah. And even though his is open, Capone's is their gravesite cemetery is open later than King Von's. I felt this eerie feeling at the cemetery where Capone is. I just felt this eerie feeling. I'm like, bro, are there like the spirits just up and I felt like the spirits were just like, and I said, Lord, and I was in the car with someone. I said, "Do you feel?" She's like, "No, I don't feel nothing." I'm like, you know what? I'm more tapped in spiritually.
Yeah.
Like I'm crossing that path where I can just I can look at, I can see actual demons in people. Like you
have a discerning spirit.
It's a certain gift. Like when you get deeper and level into Christ, you can like God is when God wakes me up at 2:00 in the morning, I'm just instantly just speaking in our heavenly language and all of that type of stuff. When I went to King Von's, I didn't feel nothing. Emmett Till's buried there as well.
Really?
Yes. So and then I went.
Do they have their grave sites as like a tourist attraction, or people just go because they're famous?
Yeah, they can. I guess they just go because actually I did have the pamphlet on how to actually get to King Von's, and I did past tense, but that's. But I felt more eerie with at Capone, the cemetery there, than I did with King Von. So
yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, so it was.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, that was deep just now. And then the last question that we don't know if it's true or not. You've seen every episode of Fresh Prince.
Yes, ma'am. I love that show so much. The first Aunt Viv. Mm-hmm. I love that show so much.
Yeah.
I wanted to live on that show.
Yeah.
Like that was the first time seeing, I mean, of course you had the Cosby Show, right? Mm-hmm. But for me growing up, watching it, it was like, if they could make it, what's stopping me?
Right.
Because, of course, we only make up really, I think 9.5% of the population.
Okay.
And we don't have as many wealthy black people of color. And seeing that is what I strive to be.
Okay.
And everything else like that one day in his timing. Yeah. So yes, I have seen every episode. Now have I seen it to the point where I know all the words? No, I don't.
I was gonna ask if you memorize all of the episodes. I remember.
Yes,
just
I
one,
do. No. I do. It was the one that's popping in my mind right now was when Tevin Campbell came to Ashley's birthday party.
Okay.
And she fell out, and I was like, somebody has to get my favorite rapper is Ludacris. So listen, my future babe, make sure Luda is on my at the wedding rapping. Okay.
Ludacris. Tevin Campbell was my first celebrity crush.
Really?
As a kid.
Did it kind of hurt you when you found out that he was
what? Well, not that part. I had been left him alone. Okay. Like we was really together. I had been left him alone when I saw him on that episode with Ashley.
Oh.
And when I seen him in that video with that girl. So I was done.
That's how I felt about.
That's how you gonna do me.
That's how I felt about Lil Bow Wow when he was in the Puppy Love video with Solange. I said, "Get your hands off my man!" Man, I was gonna mollywop Solange, but she knows how to fight, baby. I might lose that.
Yeah. Solange don't play.
Baby, she know. I was gonna say, man, she listen. part of Houston are you from? What part? For real. What did you do in your spare time?
No parts.
What you do in your spare time, man?
So, like I said earlier, this episode of the Shawnee View has been different from others. You requested that we end this episode in prayer,
yes,
and
ma'am.
I agreed with it. So
okay,
we can do that because this is the end of
We're
the
at the
episode.
end. All right, and guys, I promise I ain't gonna make this no Thanksgiving prayer. Okay, I'm quick with it. I'm quick with it. So, Heavenly Father, I thank you for today. Thank you so much for first off waking us up this morning. Thank you for us coming here safely. I thank you so much for Shawnee and what she's doing as far as with the community, as far as with herself, bringing a platform open to people who have something to say, a voice. Thank you so much for blessing her, Father. Thank you so much that she actually has a real relationship with you. Thank you so much, Father, that she's going places, that your hands are covered all over her. I thank you for the audience listening to this. I ask that you continue to bless them. Thank you for bringing them out of darkness, God. All of the shame that they have, all of the tears that they've been crying, all of the hurt that they felt in their life from any abandonment. Thank you for healing them of that. Thank you for them just coming back home to you, that they don't have to go to women, they don't have to go to men, that they don't have to go to alcohol, any illicit drugs, that they can come to you to ease the pain. Thank you so much, Father God, as this podcast, this radio show, everything about this continues to grow. I thank you that it just reaches a multitude. It reaches the people it needs to reach. I thank you so much, Heavenly Father, for us getting back home safely. I thank you that the angels are just encamped all around us. And thank you for just placing a smile on Shawnee. Thank you for your son who died on the cross for our sins, so we don't have to go to hell, so we don't have to continue living and being tormented, so we can continue just laying everything at the cross. We love you, we praise you, we bless and magnify your holy name. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen. That was nice.
I almost started speaking in tongues.
I appreciate
but I said, baby,
the prayer.
they listen to the whole building was about to shake. Like, what's that? It's a rapture.
I always appreciate prayer. So if anyone wants to reach out and follow your journey, because I look forward to seeing the Kyndra Crump show. Like, I want to see it like grow and just expand, because I see it in you, girl. You got it. Well, so how can we find you on social media?
Oh, well, I was gonna say y'all can find me on Fulton Industrial. You know, do a little prostituting on the side, pay the bills.
How you gonna do prostitution right after praying?
Listen, come as you are. I'm just playing. I'm playing, guys. I'm playing. So Instagram is the Kyndra Crump Show. So D as in the, THE. K, Y as in Young, N as in Nancy, D as in David, RACRUMP, S as in Sam, HOW. The Kyndra Crump Show. My Facebook is Ken Free Spirit, so KEN Free Spirit. My YouTube, Kyndra Crump, and that's it. And if you guys see me in public, y'all can speak. You ain't gotta be like, you know, look at me and then find me on social media. I think I saw you at Kroger. Why don't you say something? Well, I wasn't sure that was you. Just come up and say something. What's so wrong with that? Like, that's annoying.
That's interesting.
It's annoying. It's just about as annoying as people. You tell me you're a comedian. Oh, tell me a joke.
So I'm just going to sit here and tell you a joke right now.
So why don't you tell me a joke? You are the joke.
Right.
You expect me to walk around with jokes all day? Why don't you pay me? I'm going to pop up to your next show. Never do. That's annoying.
Yeah, just come to the show. Let me see you there. Don't tell me you're coming no more. But okay, this has been another episode of the Shawnee View. Good night.